This is a Fatal 4 podcast.
There's no way Goldberg's going to be able to do this to The Undertaker.
No way!
Oh, my God!
Goldberg wanted that jackhammer, didn't get all of it.
Welcome to Didn't Get All of It. I'm Paul Griffin, and this week on the show, WWE and AEW shake up their live event schedules, UFC and WWE merge, and we take a look at the Alpha Academy drama from Raw and preview this week's weekend's WWE King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, plus AEW Double or Nothing. It's a very eventful Didn't Get All of It. I barely got all of that intro, but joining me tonight, or today, or this morning, whenever you're listening, is also Cody.
You know, we're not live. Do you want to record that again?
No, I like it. No, it's good.
Okay. All right. Just checking. Hey, everybody.
Also, someone who is live is B-Rob.
Yes, for today only.
What does that
mean?
Do you go into like cryo every other day?
Yes, I sleep in my freaking stasis pod as soon as the air goes off in the show.
Well, then who's posting for you all week?
It's I use what's that app I use? I forgot what it is, but it auto posts for me. Just a whole bunch of shit takes.
That tracks. The amount of posting you do makes it feel automated.
Sometimes I wish it was.
Well, before we get into the show, make sure you subscribe to Didn't Get All of It wherever you get your podcasts. New shows drop every Friday morning, especially if there isn't a tornado that sweeps over three of the hosts. Mm-hmm. Also check out fatal4pod.com. That's fatal FOUR pod.com for links to all of our socials, info about our Patreon, which we would love for you to sign up for, and send us emails for the show for the upcoming Oops All Emails episode dropping exclusively on the Patreon. So fatal4pod.com for all that info. Cody, do you want to tell us what's going on in the world of wrestling this week?
I sure do. A lot of shaking and moving. It was announced this week that All Elite Wrestling has moved the date of their All Out pay-per-view. Per reports from both Fightful Select and PW Insider, AEW is moving All Out from September 1st to September 7th. If my math's right, that's about a week later. And that is mainly due to fan response about All Out being so close to All In. I welcome this change, personally. I think I am one of those fans who thought that All In and All Out last year were way too close to one another. And I feel like it would definitely affect the draw of the latter show. But I don't know, B-Rob, do you welcome the change?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I know this could be a nightmare for people who are trying to attend both, as crazy that may seem, but like, as a guy that's going to sit home on his couch or whatever, I don't really mind the closeness of the two shows and whatnot, but I'm fine with it either way. It's fine. It could have stayed the same. It could have changed. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Are there people attending both?
I mean,
that's kind of crazy. I mean, one of them's in London, the other's in Illinois.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean,
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean,
green shirt guy is every fucking where. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, the people on the shows are attending them.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
but it's probably an annoying trek to go from one to the other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, you're going to be at home on your couch if you're not attending these shows. So, I mean, what the fuck? Does it matter?
It's more time to establish stuff between the shows.
Yeah, exactly. It'll make the shows better, and it's less on the wallet, especially if they don't get their streaming situation figured out between now and then. And like, I don't know, I like watching wrestling on the weekends, but I also like doing other things. So to have, a weekend in between where I can do other stuff is nice as well.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is this weekend you have a holiday, so you can watch wrestling all weekend and still get a weekend.
True.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, everybody views things different or whatever. Cause like, I don't necessarily have to watch it live. I just watch it at my leisure. I mean, that's the, cool thing about current day pro wrestling or whatever. You don't have to watch it live. But I mean, I understand like the cool factor of just like taking in what's happening along with your fellow wrestling fan and whatnot. But
that's true. There is nothing cooler than me sitting at home on a Monday night watching Raw live for 3 hours. That is the coolest. Everyone says, I wish we could be as cool as Paul, sitting at home watching wrestling.
Yes.
Oh, also, actually, it took me just now opening my calendar app to realize the best part about this news is actually the fact that not only it moved dates, but it moved days. It is no longer on a Sunday; it is now on a Saturday.
Yay! More Saturday shows.
I really do welcome that change. Then Saturday shows are far superior to any Sunday show.
And bad news, though. Sorry, Paul. It's no longer on your birthday.
That's great news. That's the best news for me. Thanks, TK. I always said your jewelry was a scam, but your wrestling promotion, at least it's not on my.
Well, switching gears to the other company, WWE, and a third company, actually, UFC, because WWE and UFC, collectively known under the TKO name, announced that the two promotions have merged their live event teams. Peter Dropkick, who
I don't know why I read that drop kick.
I was going to say, I think
I was really hoping
Dropkick.
I was hoping you would have read this whole thing without anyone saying anything, but you would have said Dropkick the whole time. Because I posted that, I'm like, this guy's name is Dropkick? What a great name for an EVP of event development for TKO. It's not, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, Dropkick will work closely with UFC, WWE, and the TKO leadership, including UFC president and CEO Dana White, WWE chief content officer Paul Levesque, and UFC COO Lawrence Epstein. Hopefully no relation there. And then WWE president Nick Khan and TKO CFO Andrew Schleimer to leverage the massive global popularity of UFC and WWE and continue to grow the TKO live events business domestically and internationally.
Who would have thunk it?
I mean, once they announced the merger, this seemed like it was bound to happen. But
well, I mean, I get that now, but like
a couple of years ago, not a chance.
Right. I definitely think, especially, I believe Dana was quoted a couple of weeks ago talking about the idea of basically TKO coming into your city and just taking over for a whole weekend. They'll probably run SmackDowns on Friday nights, and then Saturday will either be a UFC show or a WWE show, and then Sunday will be the other. I mean, it's smart business. It makes sense. I don't know how much these days, how much crossover their fans are. I feel like back in the day, there definitely was, especially with like Brock Lesnar. But these days, I don't know. I feel like most MMA fans don't watch pro wrestling, and not a whole lot of pro wrestling fans watch.
No, I mean, silly question. I mean, we're bound to get crossover from UFC to WWE, no doubt about it. But do you ever think we'll get crossover the other way around? Somebody coming from WWE into an octagon for some skirmish?
No. Well,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Punk did it. Like, I could definitely see something like that happening. I don't see someone being like full-time WWE and going over and doing a UFC fight, because that's a full-time commitment. You got to train for
I think
it.
you run a big risk of sending someone over there to work a shoot angle, because if it's Brock, who knows what his status is, but if they send Brock, you do run the risk of their top guy getting murked in a segment on UFC. I think the best thing you get is a promo in an octagon. You're not getting any contact.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't mean like fair weather shit or whatever, to where like it's an angle or whatever. I mean like somebody full-time leaving and going there and doing work.
Maybe if there's somebody on the roster right now that has a passion for it and wants to do it, like Punk did when he left.
I think that was out of spite on his side, though. But like, the only person that I can see in my mind to do something like that, but I'm only saying this based on maybe a decade or more ago, is Bobby Lashley, because he has prior MMA experience.
Isn't he? Is he still undefeated?
I'm not sure.
MMA?
Not sure.
I'm gonna look that up real quick because
I don't think he could do it today. He's perpetually injured at this point.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you base this on 10 years ago, maybe I would say that. But like, he's the only one that comes to mind, really. But I don't know. It's just I just like asking questions like that because I mean it would be pretty fucking cool. I mean,
well, they do have
15-2, by the way.
15-2. That's still not bad.
Well, pretty good.
That's probably better than Bautista.
They do have that upcoming package deal where you get tickets to UFC and a WWE show, like bundled tickets for something.
Smart.
I don't know when that event is, but it's coming up, so that'll probably be a good test to see if anybody cares.
Yeah.
Is that Battleground? NXT Battleground?
I hope not. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give that product to the UFC fans.
I just know that that's happening in the UFC.
I don't think it's Battleground. I think it's like it could be a house show or a SmackDown paired with a UFC event.
Like I've never really been into MMA, and I watched a fight here and there or whatever, and I've never really had an urge to want to attend a live show. But like, if you bundle these two together, I might be more inclined to maybe try to check it out of curiosity.
Yeah, MMA doesn't hit for me like it used to. I don't find any attachment to the people currently fighting.
Yeah, all the people I like kind of left the ring or whatever.
Maybe that could change. They might talk me into it someday. That's part of this partnership is finding a crossover section of fans. We might have to start an MMA podcast.
Oh, geez.
Oh, no.
Didn't get Octavit.
We'll workshop that name, but
I already have the logo in my head.
It's just going to be the same logo, but instead of a square, it's going to be an octagon, isn't it?
Yeah. With someone throwing a punch or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally have not been interested in MMA. I would say since Ronda Rousey left. I feel like she was the last real like crossover star that drew me in. And I don't know. I just feel like they don't have anybody like that these days.
Yeah.
I lost interest when McGregor stopped fighting regularly and became like a human troll. Like I used to think he was cool as shit and that guy's gonna kick ass. And now anytime I see him online, mostly on TMZ, it's this guy's a fucking asshole. And I am not interested in seeing him fight or supporting him in any way.
Yeah. And then like my 2024 prediction is further and further away. But like if I would have said somebody in UFC, it might have been a more accurate prediction for 2024. Because like the girl,
I guess if they kept Matt Riddle, but didn't he leave UFC on bad terms?
Yeah.
Yes. He leaves everywhere on bad terms.
More or less.
What can you do?
Yeah. Yeah. See Braun Strowman step over, get his ass rocked like Brock did to him.
I could definitely see, like Paul mentioned, promo or something. I could definitely see a WWE superstar like accompanying an MMA fighter to the octagon.
Oh, I can totally
entrance,
like yeah, I can see Montez Ford announcing somebody to the ring or something like that.
Right. Something like that.
Yeah.
But either way, I think it's smart business. It makes sense for them to, merge their live event team and, try to promote both companies.
That saves a little bit of money too. You don't have to pay, two different teams.
True. And finally, speaking of live events.
Welcome everyone to the biggest event of the summer.
For more than 35 years, SummerSlam has delivered some of the most amazing moments in WWE history.
I am completely in shock right now.
And in 2026, we will once again make history.
Fasten your seatbelts. It is about to go down. Let's go!
Working with Minnesota Sports and Events, we will expand SummerSlam to 2 nights. Saturday, August 1st and Sunday, August 2nd, 2026 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Live from the world-class US Bank Stadium, WWE will bring 2 epic nights of SummerSlam to the Twin Cities.
That's right. You heard it from the man himself, Paul Levesque. SummerSlam 2 nights in 2026.
So I like
far away.
I like the marketing behind it though. So like you have 2 nights in the Twin City. I like it.
Yeah,
I didn't even think of that. That's actually pretty clever. That's going to be the
it's
first
2026, but let's get real. It's 2027, 2028, 2029. Like this is going to happen. I think you're looking at WrestleMania and SummerSlam as 2-night events every year.
Do you think that would expand beyond that and it'd be like the big 4 or whatever?
That's the thing is, this feels entirely unnecessary to me. I don't think SummerSlam. Yeah, it's a big show. It's got a lineage. It's cool. I look forward to it every year. It's usually a good show. It's not WrestleMania. It doesn't need to be 2 nights. I really this just feels like a makeup for Minnesota. Like, sorry, you didn't get Mania. Here, take this consolation prize.
It feels like that, and also let's blow up another brand and make a bigger event. Because if they can start selling SummerSlam tickets like they sell Mania tickets, that's huge business. And I could see it expanding to the Rumble because structurally that makes the most sense. You can have both nights in with a Rumble.
Yeah.
Which is smart. And also probably helps the pacing of those shows because they're always so weird.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I if this was announced as the Royal Rumble becoming 2 nights, I'd be like, yeah, sure, that makes sense. Rumble on night 1, Rumble on night 2.
No one wants to spend the winter in Minneapolis.
True, but for SummerSlam, I don't know. It just feels unnecessary.
I don't know. I like it, I guess, from like a staying at home standpoint. But like, I know it's not one of the big 4, but I think Money in the Bank would be cool for 2 nights.
Just because they'd have 2 ladder matches to close it.
Well, why don't we do Elimination Chamber 2 nights? And why don't we make King and Queen of the Ring 2 nights? And why don't we make fucking NXT Battleground 2 nights?
Okay.
At this point,
Now you
guys are going to want a podcast for 2 nights.
I mean, kind of do that.
Yeah, we're kind of going to do that this weekend. So,
whatever. I mean, more wrestling, cool. But I don't know.
I like it because SummerSlam in the last few years has felt like a much bigger deal than it used to. Before, it used to be a show that happened in the summertime. It does feel like they're going all out for SummerSlams lately, and if they want to keep doing that, then why not have 2 WrestleManias in a year?
Fuck it.
3. If the product starts to be horrendously awful, then I'll have a problem with it. But right now, it's pretty tolerable.
Yeah, they'll have 3 because you'll have your big WrestleMania Saudi edition.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think they'll do a Survivor Series over the course of 2 nights because no one gives a fuck about Survivor Series.
No.
Plus, it's the only night a year where superstars from Raw and SmackDown can go head-to-head in direct competition. If you add an extra night, then it's 2 nights, and that just devalues the brands. The brands that they stick to very, very closely.
But it's whatever. I mean, I'll watch regardless.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Sorry, Cody doesn't like good things. Would you rather Double or Nothing be a 2-night event or a 13-match card?
2-night event.
There you go.
For sure.
If SummerSlam is a 2-night event of like 6 matches on each show, then that's fine.
This is different companies. WWE is good at booking premium live events that are tight and don't have a bunch of filler and don't go 8 hours into the middle of the night. Like, if this was AEW announcing that All In was going to become a 2-night show in Wembley or whatever, I'd be like, hell yeah, good. They need that. But just feels very forced for WWE to do this.
To me, this feels extremely natural for them. How long until SmackDown gets it? Like, they're going to USA on Fridays. They don't have to be off the air for local news. How long until that's a 2-hour or a 3-hour show? I give it a couple months tops once that move happens.
Nah, I hope not.
It's coming. And Netflix, they can go as long as they want.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, WWE is just going to be a 24/7 live stream.
That's what I wanted from the network.
The shows are just never ending.
Well, yeah, they had that on the network, but like, weird shit.
They never did Justin TV properly. That was before the network throwing on Justin.tv and watching just wrestling from Monday. And you could watch Raw and Nitro back to back. And then once that was over, they'd go to SmackDown. And then once that was over, like, they just playing them in order. That's what they should have had, but they never did that. So they failed.
So like, I don't know. Just I don't know. It's when you add more hours to a weekly show, I get my brain gets weird.
You're fine with more shows. You just don't want 1 hour more. Of
yes, exactly.
But you can watch it whenever you want.
But I don't know, because it's still 3 hours regardless, unless it's the Hulu cut.
I would say you could stop watching NXT, but then how are we going to get show intros?
Hey man, I like NXT.
From me watching like 6-year-old Saudi shows.
I get that's the way to do it. I've missed a lot of those. I should go back and watch some.
Maybe. Or maybe not.
Well, we'll talk more about those later.
Speaking of later.
After the break, we're talking a very Alpha Academy focused Raw, and later, a weekend of premium live events.
All right, guys, we're back. What a break that was. I hope you enjoyed all of those lovely ads from our sponsors that we've vetted and trust every single one of them.
Hold on. I was listening back to last week's show in the car, as one does, and got like period underwear ads.
What?
Huh? You might need it. Who knows?
I mean, sure, but like you said, they were localized and targeted.
I got
what about
ads
my
for a local
algorithm?
car dealer.
All right. Well, that makes sense. What about my algorithm tells you that I need that?
It's probably that girl you're always hanging out with. She's on your
I
same
was
Wi-Fi.
About to say.
True. Good point.
Well, period underwear aside, I hope you had some good ads, and I hope you support them by listening to us. Support us, actually. Let's talk about Raw. This is a fairly uneventful episode of Raw. A lot of focus on the mid-card. They did a few things with King of the Ring. I think we'll start there, and then we'll get into the meat of all of the Alpha Academy stuff. But Lyra did defeat Io and earn her spot in the finals. And then Gunther took on Jey Uso. Gunther had a great Bond villain promo from an empty arena. He came off excellent here. And then Jey Uso and him had a match that was, I don't know. I wasn't biting on any of the near falls, because just because Gunther lost once doesn't mean he's going to lose a bunch more times right after that, and he shouldn't.
I thought it was a good match, but I knew that anyone that wasn't named Gunther wasn't going to win.
I don't know. I was not convinced, to be honest with you, because I really thought we were getting Jey Uso and Tama Tonga.
Nah.
I'm so glad we're not.
Yeah, we
talked about that on
against
the last episode.
time. Yeah.
But that would have been... You're going to get that match anyway. It should not be the finals for King of the Ring.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially after, what they announced today. So it really shouldn't be those two. Another thing they did on Raw was Bron Breakker's Raw debut. Never mind the fact that he was on Raw like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
with Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I was about to say re-debut.
I feel like he's been.
Didn't he
on
win the
every
NXT
show.
title on Raw?
Yeah. Never mind that shit though. He's really mad that he wasn't in the King of the Ring, which I think is good storytelling. And then they booked him in a match with a local jobber who he proceeded to murder every which way around the ring, smashed him with a chair, got into it with Adam Pearce, and was like, "You can't hold me, brother."
Yeah, he speared him out of the referee's arms. That was wild.
It was pretty cool. I don't want to give him a lot of credit, but it was pretty cool. Cody, I know you loved this.
I did. I think Bron Breakker is really cool, and I'm glad they are presenting him as something special and not just a guy on the roster. I thought everything about this great. I think the couple of weeks leading up to it, with him being pissed about not being in the King of the Ring, it's all justified. He went out there and just did some cool looking shit. Very Ryback-esque, maybe Braun Strowman-like, the early days of those guys, just beating people up and doing cool shit while they do it. And that worked tremendously for both of them. I mean, eventually they kind of floundered, but those two guys were very, very over at one point, and it's because of stuff like this. So I think this is great, and I look forward to seeing more Bron Breakker on Raw.
So would you have the same opinions had he still been dating Cora Jade?
Oh yeah, power couple.
The other thing that took place on Raw was a ton of stuff with the Alpha Academy.
What's going on here?
Faces, and wait a minute.
What's Maxine doing?
Maxine!
Jack Gable tried to basically...
Well, she can't bring herself to do the wrong thing, and that's pull the trigger and slap Sammy. And now Otis gets involved! Damn it, Otis, why did you do that?
Stockholm Syndrome on Monday Night Raw.
The official never saw Otis's involvement. Chad Gable with a chaos theory. Bridge cover and the win. And driving Caden Carter in the barricade in a bit of attitude shown by Maxine there.
Look at that.
Surprised herself.
I thought you were better than that. Maybe I'm wrong about you, though. Yeah? Are you proud of yourself? Because you shouldn't be.
Sammy.
What?
I'm sorry. I really am.
Damn it, Otis. I know you are, man. I know you're sorry, because you're a good guy. All right, Chad Gable is not a good guy. I know you think he's your friend, he's your coach, whatever. Look, I've been in your shoes before. Trust me. Take it from me. The sooner you stop listening to him and you start listening to them, you're going to be a lot better off.
So lots of Alpha Academy on Raw. I have a theory now that I want to run by you guys. I think they should do it this way.
Is it a chaos theory?
No, but it could be.
Yeah.
Is it the thing that we've been talking about for the longest, that I've wanted forever?
What, putting the Creed brothers with Gable?
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, well, we already know that's happening. They teased that backstage this week. What I'm thinking is, instead of the Alpha Academy getting turned on, I think Maxine should turn heel. As she showed, she showed fire in the match. By the way, the women's tag match, you'd think Maxine was the proiest of pros to ever step foot in the ring. If you go back and watch that match, she is better than she's ever been. It's probably her best performance she's put on since wrestling.
Flip the switch.
There's numerous times in the match where other people look lost and she helps them. Kyrie, for example. Excellent. She's so good. And they teased in that match, she got really aggressive, and they're like, holy shit, that's not something she does often. I think she should turn heel with Gable. I also think maybe they could run a story with Otis where he's conflicted, because the whole point of her joining Alpha Academy is that all women love Otis. I don't think it should be a quick turn and squash of Otis. You can do that with Tozawa, but Otis being torn on, should I stick with my guy who is helped Maxine so much and won the Intercontinental title at some point? Or should I stick with the fans and be a good guy? I think there's something interesting to tell there. And WWE is not afraid of overblown stables at this point. Like, look at whatever the Karrion Kross group is called. There's 18 people in it, and they're all managers. There's no reason you can't have Creed brothers, Gable, Otis, and Maxine in a group. I assume he gets broken off.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the for it to happen. And what I mean by it is, Gable has been constantly on Tozawa ass about not doing that damn dance, and I want to see him do it and see what happens.
Oh yeah, I think people forgot about the dance. I guess we'll find out. I've been wrong about fans for quite a while lately.
Oh, they remember because he says it every fucking week.
They started chanting "You suck" to the theme of Gable's theme this week, which you can't ask for a more perfect thing.
He is Perk Angle, as per the signs in the crowd.
It was definitely a cool moment. I like the theory. I think you're probably right. I think Maxine is better served as a heel. But I do want that. I do want babyface Otis to, have his Batista breaking away from Evolution moment, and
I think that should come after turning heel. Like, I think they should find an interesting way to do it, because I think turning Gable on Otis now and Otis just being an immediate babyface, there's nothing for him.
Yeah, or it can be just like you bring them all in together. Like Gable's like, hey, now these two are with us. They're in the Alpha Academy, and then there's just like, now these are my number one guys and stuff, and it can further it that way, and then have the split, and it'd be cool.
Yeah, there's definitely a way to do it.
Maybe heat the group up a little more. Maybe Gable wins the Intercontinental Championship, and then you have Otis's breakaway moment be him defeating Gable for the title.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
that might be more interesting.
And I don't think it shouldn't just be Gable abusing Otis the whole time. Like, there should be a point where Otis is like, no, this guy's right. I need to amp up my aggression. And I think there's something interesting here. I hope they go that route and don't do the easy thing of Creed brothers show up, beat up Gable or beat up Otis and Tozawa, and Gable leaves with them. Like, that's fine. I mean, but you could run 6 months of stories here.
Yeah, I mean, you can dice it so many ways, because I mean, it would be easier. Like, you throw the Intercontinental on Gable, you throw the tags on the Creeds, because I mean, look who has the tag titles now. So I mean, simple shit.
Yeah, on both brands, the tag champions feel like placeholders for real teams.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, fun stuff. I like the whole thing that's going on with them.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge, exciting Raw, but the big storyline did revolve around my favorite act, so I'm not mad about it.
Not at all.
Even Drew McIntyre was on the show being like, "You guys didn't even book me on this thing." So, I assume we'll have a very different Raw next week after King of the Ring. Speaking of, when we come back, we are looking at the weekend of wrestling with Saturday's King and Queen of the Ring, as well as Sunday's AEW Double or Nothing. Right after this.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those tailor-made ads for your ear holes and whatnot. But we're going to roll right into the weekend events. We got two big shows coming up this weekend. And the first one that we're going to cover is the King and Queen of the Ring. Earlier today, Triple H said this.
Yeah, so I have an announcement on that. In the past, King and Queen of the Ring, it was such an honor to be in that tournament and to win that tournament on your own, to have that launch you to another place. But I wanted that tournament to kind of stand on its own, and I didn't want to announce this part of it until we got here. But I'll let all of you know that tonight that the winner of the King of the Ring tournament and the winner of the Queen of the Ring tournament will both go on to receive championship matches with the title of their respective brands. So they will both get world title shots, either WWE or world title, at SummerSlam.
So I'm as excited as those people were in attendance for this announcement and whatnot, which leads into our finals for the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. So we got Gunther versus Orton or Tama Tonga coming up, depending on what the outcome is on Friday, right?
Yes.
And then also,
as fun as it would be to see Gunther versus Tama Tonga be a 30-second squash match, I don't think that's happening. I think we're getting Gunther and Orton, which, buckle up, folks, could be a match of the year.
Mm-hmm. And then also for the women's bracket, we'll have Lia Valkyria versus either Bianca Belair or Nia Jax. So, I mean, what are we thinking here? I'm thinking if we're going to make Lia Valkyria a star, we put her up against her biggest opposition, which I would believe would be, you know, figuratively and physically, Nia Jax. But, like, I think Bianca Belair could possibly bring something out of her.
Bianca sounds like the better match.
Mm-hmm.
Also, given the new stipulation, Lyra versus Becky is the match at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. So run that back.
Yeah, teacher-student shit. Lyra's beaten her for the NXT title. Can she beat her for the world title? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Nia is who you do here then, because she can take the loss.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. Or Nia just wins, which would be shocking to me.
Word. But outside of those or whatever, the rest of the card reads as follows. We got Becky Lynch, who is going to be defending her title against Liv Morgan, which interested to see that. Sami Zayn defends his Intercontinental title against Chad Gable and Bronson Reed, which it's a lot of beef in that match. Cody Rhodes defends against Cody's favorite wrestler, Logan Paul. So, I mean, I already kind of buried the lead for one of us or whatever. What's your favorite match out of everything besides the finals of this tournament?
I mean, I'm looking forward to the main event. I think Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul will be very, very good. Cody loves to tell stories in the ring, and Logan Paul is a student of the game, and I think them together has the possibility to make magic. The triple threat will probably be fun, but I think low-key the match of the night might end up being Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm not going to lie.
In hindsight, unless Lyra versus Liv isn't the match, Lyra versus Becky is, but Liv should win. So that's tricky. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter, but I'm looking forward to this whole card. Everything on this looks really, really good. There's only 6 matches or so, and it looks like it'll be a lovely afternoon.
Yeah.
I definitely think
we will talk about on this podcast right after. So keep an eye on your podcast.
Look forward to watching. I look forward to watching and then talking about it. But I do think, going back to the tournament finals, I think this announcement from Triple H today really throws a wrench in kind of what I thought was going to happen. I don't think Gunther wins. I think we get Gunther and Orton, but I think Orton wins, and I think this is how we get Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton at SummerSlam. Because I just don't see Gunther challenging Damian Priest for the world title. That ain't putting butts in seats.
I think Cody Rhodes versus Orton still happens without Orton winning King of the Ring.
But how?
I mean,
he just earns it. They have to get someone in the title picture anyway.
I guess, maybe. But do you really see Gunther and Damian Priest at SummerSlam?
Yeah, because everything else is going to be on the show. So why not?
I don't know. There's just there's no interest there for me. That is not a match I want to see.
Not done an impressive job with Priest.
No.
Maybe Priest loses it before SummerSlam to Drew. And you get Drew and Gunther.
That would be better. I wouldn't hate that. But honestly, I think Punk might be ready by SummerSlam.
Should be.
They might do Drew and Punk for SummerSlam.
The good thing is they have a lot of options on the table. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe if that's the case, you should just do Drew and Punk at SummerSlam without the title.
Right. Because that doesn't need the title, that match.
It doesn't need
it.
It will.
At least not the first one.
It'll have it at some point, but I don't know if it needs it. Seth should be back by then, too, I would assume. And it's SummerSlam. You also got to assume that Roman's around. So you can't put a Gunther and Priest on that card because everyone's going to be there.
I mean, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't see Gunther losing that match, and I feel like him beating Priest is kind of, I don't know, lackluster.
Oh, maybe it's a way. Maybe the Judgment Day turns on Priest during the match.
Yeah, because they're still doing that tease, kind of. It feels that way at least. And then you see the thing that people were pointing out about some of the Judgment Day segments to where they had images of the demon Finn Balor floating around in the background.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was.
Is he going to be in the Spoopy stable? That's the other thing you got to factor in. That Spoopy stable, where do they go?
The Wyatt Six, as they're being called.
Ugh, better not be 6 of them.
I think
they already sell shirts, by the way. Have y'all seen that? They're selling T-shirts for whatever this group is.
Oh, I did not know. Because I did not care.
Yeah, they did acknowledge it on Raw this past week. Pat McAfee and Mike Cole were like, "What's up with that weird shit? QR codes."
Yeah, they've been doing that a bunch lately. Are they gone? Did they take them down? I don't believe that.
Do you think we see them at this show?
No. They're selling shirts called Black Cave Bird, and they're just black shirts with a bird on them.
Huh.
I don't know what that is for.
I think I did see something about them possibly popping up at this show on the interwebs.
I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust your sources.
Oh no! I mean, I'm just saying.
What Facebook page did you get that off of?
No, it was X this time.
Oh,
but not,
how reliable?
But I don't know. I just like to put out there what people are talking about. I mean, I don't give a fuck.
Should be a fun show.
Yeah. Speaking of not giving a fuck, some people don't give a fuck about this next pay-per-view that I'm about to lay out for you.
Wow, I
do
attacked.
Though. I'm sorry, man.
Hey, I give a fuck.
Yeah, because
it'll probably be great.
Probably. A lot of wrestling this weekend. To speak on that, we have AEW Double or Nothing. And I'm going to run down this match card real quick. We got Roderick Strong defending his international. Is it the international? All right. Yeah, because I want to say intercontinental so bad.
It's continental.
No,
like
continental. No, continental is what Okada has.
Oh, what does Roderick have?
International.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Roderick Strong defends his title against Will Ospreay, which we'll get into that in a second. Toni Storm defends her women's championship against Serena Deeb. Adam Copeland defends his TNT championship against Malachi Black in, what was that? A barbed wire cage match? That's going to be weird. We'll talk about that. Jon Moxley versus Tanosuke Takeshita for a shot at the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. They call it a title eliminator, whatever the hell. And we got a grudge match between Trent Beretta and Orange Cassidy. Jericho versus Hook for the and Shibata versus the for the FTW title. There's so many fucking matches on this goddamn card. And then we got the Bang Bang Gang versus the Death Triangle. We have Willow Nightingale defending her TBS championship against the debuting Mercedes Moné. And we have the Elite versus Bryan Danielson, FTR, and Darby Allin. And the main event, which we can assume will be Swerve defending the World Heavyweight title against Christian Cage. God damn, that was a lot of matches. This should be 2 nights. We talked about this.
Yeah, it's
going to be 2 nights. It's going to start on Sunday and go into Monday.
This is a good card. Like, I mean, there are good matches on here, but it's too many. It's too many matches for one show.
Yeah. See, I mean, do you think they shy away from doing 2 nights because logistically or financially they can't afford it right now, or is it just they don't want to be a copycat so much, or what do we think the issue is?
I don't know that they have the ability to do 2 nights at this point from a ticket standpoint. Like, they can't even fill an arena for 1 night.
Okay.
Like, what? I don't see them running any 2-night shows anytime soon. But
yeah, because I mean, it would be cool for All Out and All In that aspect, because it's like they could do that 2 nights if it wasn't international. But like, I think
they should just do All In on Saturday and All Out on Sunday, the same weekend.
Yeah,
two separate shows, but back to back.
Okay,
yeah.
but hear me out. All In should be done inside the building, and All Out should be outside the building, and the fans have to watch from the parking lot.
That sounds like some TNA reverse battle royal bullshit.
Yeah. First night is All In, everybody in the building, and then next night is All Out. Everyone get out of the building. We're doing this outside.
Yeah, but like I said,
and then the next night is Shake It All About.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. But like, that would be cool.
Tony Pokey.
Yeah, that would be cool if it wasn't an international show for one of them or whatever. So like, if they were both in the States or both overseas, night 1 All In, night 2 All Out would be fucking cool. But
I mean, I'm saying like run the same arena and just instead of like being like WrestleMania night 1, WrestleMania night 2, like have them be 2 separately branded shows, but it's the same arena, the same weekend. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Enough fantasy booking. This card, like I said, it looks pretty strong. I'm very much looking forward to Copeland and Malachi Black. I think it'll be a spectacle. Trent and Orange.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Hang on. They did a fun spot with the Edge and Malachi Black stuff this week with
yes,
the Brood, the Bloodbath.
They almost did a Kevin Nash there. They almost totally whiffed it, but Malachi leaned back into it.
No, they nailed him. It was perfect.
No, it was not. He leaned back into it so he could get hit. Look at the other angles.
Adam Copeland did the promo after being like, be careful what you wish for. I wonder if what's going to happen isn't so much he joins them, but you've awakened his spooky side, and now he's just spookier guy.
Do you guys think we see an appearance from Gangrel here?
We keep asking for it, so I think it's going to finally get paid off here.
I think it happens. If not here, then in this program, because Adam Copeland's been on the record as saying that he wanted to get Gangrel for his Finn Balor feud in WWE, and WWE told him no.
That's so weird.
I don't think Tony Khan knows the definition of the word no, so I think if Adam wants it, it'll happen, and we'll see Gangrel in AEW.
Yeah, and then like, even if they don't do that now, it would be cool for later on when eventually Edge and Christian make their tag team run, and then you have them like come together with Gangrel to do some spoopy shit.
I wish they had the Gangrel music though.
Is that not stock music? Just like the Hardy Boys?
It's gotta be, but I don't know.
They get it?
I'm not sure.
Man, if I hear that,
I don't think it's gonna happen. They played something similar during the spooky segment.
We'll see.
That'll be fun. I look forward to Will Ospreay wrestling anytime.
Yes.
Like I said, Trent and Orange is a good story. I look forward to seeing what they do there.
Yeah, so what I'm interested in is Takeshita and Moxley because of the implications of this match. I know it's an eliminator match, so if Takeshita wins, he gets a legit title opportunity, which I think this shit is stupid. I mean, you beat the champ once.
Yeah, I don't like these eliminator things, especially here, because I feel like it just telegraphs a Takeshita win.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like they want to do this match, they want to put Takeshita over, but they don't want to give them the title.
Mm-hmm.
So
and then also
do this.
Yeah, they string it out because I mean they can do that for a Forbidden Door.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have personally, I would have cut that match. I don't think it needs to be on this card. I also would have cut Chris Jericho, Hook, and Shibata. That could be done on Rampage or something.
Or not at all.
But I think the rest of the card is pretty solid. I think they're promoting it kind of as a triple main event with the TBS title, the Anarchy in the Arena, and the World title. I look forward to all of those too. I think they all have the potential to deliver here. So should be a fun night, fun weekend of wrestling.
Yeah,
this weekend.
So I want to talk about a little bit about Tony Storm and Serena Deeb.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like on Dynamite this week, I guess they did a double turn.
I mean,
I know people have been cheering Tony Storm, but she's technically the heel.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like a big discussion last week on another dorky podcast.
Really, I mean, literally, she's shades of gray.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was watching the tag match on Dynamite, and my takeaway was that Tony and Mariah are far too goofy to be credible heels. Like, they don't feel menacing because they're like playing. Like, there was a spot where Mariah went to go body slam Tony onto someone, but she couldn't get her up, so Tony body slammed her.
Yeah, because she got all
like,
that ass.
They're doing like comedy spots, and she's a comedy act, so comedy is babyface stuff.
Yeah.
And Serena Deeb, she's no personality, which is a heel thing. I heard her come out and say this will be the best women's match they've ever had in AEW, and I applaud that confidence. I hope she is right.
Yeah, I mean, but even on this card, even.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think this is even going to be the best women's match of the night. So, good luck.
Yeah. But like Serena Deeb has always been an asshole I think to the point to where I forget what it was. Her defining moment as to be a heel for all time was to where she I forget who it was. She just worked over somebody's leg unnecessarily, and from then on the crowd booed her.
She should try getting the crowd to boo her this time, because she locked Tony in a Boston Crab with a chair or whatever, or a single leg, and people are like kind of mad about it. But she's an interesting character in that she shows up and you're supposed to care, but no one really does.
I think it's just you.
It's not just me. Listen to the crowd.
Oh, Cody too.
Yeah.
Unless they hit the mute button on the audience, which I don't think they do. They want them to make noise. No one cares about Serena Deeb.
I do. She's all right.
She's definitely all right. B-Rob, I know you're looking forward to Chris Jericho taking on Hook and Shibata.
I am not at all. Not whatsoever. I hope. You know what? I'm not going to even say that. Fuck Chris Jericho. I'll say that, but I won't say what I was thinking. Yeah, forget that guy. I still look at this card, and I'm as much as I'm poo-poo on Roderick Strong. That's the match that I'm most excited for against him and Will Ospreay.
Oh, and they added this trios match. I'm sure it'll be fine, but like again, this could happen on a Collision or something. This does not need to be on this card at all. It's cool to see Death Triangle back. I popped for the moment on Dynamite this week where Pac brought out his Hermanos.
Phoenix looking jacked as shit.
Yeah, he did look pretty swole. But this, I don't know. It's just too bloated of a card. This doesn't need to happen here.
Mm-hmm.
But
so
I guess we all need bathroom breaks at some point.
Yeah, let's make a small bet really quick. Looking at the card and what we got, which match do we think will be the shortest?
Well,
Chris Jericho's
Mercedes is only 5'7", right?
No.
tall is
Come
below?
on.
I don't think any of them go under 10 minutes.
Well, that's
they're all over 10.
They're all over 10, but which will be the shortest in length? I'm gonna
Probably
go with
Swerve and Christian. I bet Swerve and Christian doesn't go that long.
That's fair, but I'm probably gonna lean more towards Storm and Deep.
Yeah. Well, I could also
If
see
it's
them
gonna be
having a point to prove.
Yeah, I'm still not gonna backtrack on it though. I'm a hold strong with that one. So that's my pick. I am picking Serena Deeb and Toni Storm will be the shortest match on the card.
I can tell you what the longest one's going to be, though.
No, I didn't ask you that. I said the shortest.
No, I think I know where you're going with this one.
Oh,
the Anarchy in the Arena.
Sure.
That shit's going to be like 45 minutes.
that might be the main event.
I'm going to talk about it every week. I hate the Elite, but Darby Allin with a flamethrower was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
was
that
pretty
shit.
fucking cool.
I was getting kind of nervous because like it didn't go off the
Yeah,
flamethrower.
it kind of felt like he couldn't figure out how to turn it off, and he was like standing there and Brian kept looking over like, why is that still flaming?
Yeah, and then there was like a point to where he had it pointed down at the ramp or whatever, and that's like some kind of like fiberglass plastic shit. And he's melting the shit out of that. Yeah. So yeah, I ain't gonna give me your picks.
I said Chris Jericho and Hook and Shibata will be the shortest match.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can see that being short, and it's a triple threat, so Jericho's walking out with the belt.
Sorry, son of a bitch. So what you pick, Paul?
For the shortest, I don't know. Tony and Serena probably. I could see Adam and Malachi going short just because they have all the gimmicks. They just get right into it, and maybe it's like 12 minutes.
Okay, so that's your pick then?
Sure.
There you go. We did it. All right, let's move on.
Are we? I mean, short matches are fine, but like, what do you think steal in this show?
I think Trent and Orange Cassidy will surprise a lot of people, and I think that's the match ends up being match of the night.
Yeah, I could say that too, but Will Ospreay is on the card, man.
And he's against Roderick, who might be a dork, but is extremely good at doing backbreakers.
Yeah.
Oh, he's totally doing like a os cutter into a backbreaker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be fun.
I think the problem with this show is it's going to be too good. People are going to not be able to figure out what they liked the most out of it, and it might be the show of the year.
I'm fine with that. What I don't like, though, is that sorry son of a bitch Chris Jericho.
I wonder, maybe they should do some shenanigans in the press conference. Do you think the Elite will work an angle?
Against
Jericho? I could totally see them losing Anarchy in the Arena and then showing up to the press conference eating muffins.
Fuck. That's going to pop so many people online.
That's totally going to happen.
Are they going to talk about working with children?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. Well, that'll be fun.
Do we get an appearance by Kenny Omega at any point?
No.
Okay, very well. That's all I got to say about that, except for Chris Jericho.
I'm surprised he appeared at all in the first place, so.
Yeah. He had the bad tummy disease.
That is a bad disease.
Yeah.
It's a really bad one, actually.
The bad tummy one, yes. I think I've only seen two people survive, and that's him and Brock Lesnar.
Well, you guys got anything else?
It's a lot of goddamn wrestling.
I don't have diverticulitis, that's for sure.
All right. It sounds like we all need a rest for this weekend that's coming up. So, folks, we didn't get all of it, but we will try again next week. In the meantime, if you liked the show, please subscribe to Didn't Get All of It wherever you get your podcasts. Write us a review. Now's a great time to do that. Now that we're a fresh podcast, bump us up those charts. If you really like the show, tell your friends, post about us, and consider joining the Patreon at patreon.com/fatal4pod, FOUR pod. For only $3 a month, you get ad-free episodes, full access to the exclusive Discord, where stuff is happening all the time.
All the time.
Even last week, there was a movie watch-along. But come chat with us. We hang there all week. It's a fun place. And this month on the Patreon, or next month early, because it's like next weekend, we're doing a Oops All Emails edition of Didn't Get All of It. If you have questions about the show, send them to us. Do you want to talk about something? Send it in. If you hate the show and you have complaints, fire them off at fatal4pod.com. Use the form on the page, just scroll down, it's there, and we will get your email and read it on that episode and discuss. So anyway, your support goes a long way. Thank you for subscribing, reviewing, sharing, and joining the Patreon. And if you missed any of that, you can find it all at fatal4pod.com. For myself and the rest of the Fatal Four, we will see you this weekend when we have episodes for both King and Queen of the Ring and AEW Double or